everyone. It's Eagles Training Camp 2018. I'm Eagles insider Dave Spadaro with the Hall of Famer, Mike Quick. Quick Six here. How many seasons in the booth now?
I'm going into 22.
22.
Yeah,
and
long time.
Yeah, and the mood is different here, Mike. This is a Super Bowl championship team, and you feel it in the building. You feel it out on the practice field.
I think you feel it everywhere, and the fans, they're going to make sure that we realize it every day. They're talking about it, and I don't think there's a lot of difference in this team and last year at this time other than the talent level, because when I'm watching them, they're focused. They're about their business every day, and they're getting it done, and I'm so impressed with how young guys are being taught by older guys, like they're being tutored. And I saw a lot of the same things last year at this time, Dave. So yeah, world champions, but when I watch the way these guys go about their business, there's not a lot of difference in what they were doing last season and this season.
Chemistry plays such a big part in things. I wondered how the chemistry would be altered losing the likes of Brent Selleck and Vinnie Curry and Bo Allen and LeGarrette Blount, and bringing somebody in like Michael Bennett who has a strong personality.
Sure.
And then I look in the locker room and it's Chris Long, Michael Bennett, Haloti Ngata, and I say, you know what, that's a great threesome right there. That's a leadership group.
I think when you bring guys in and they understand the culture and they start to see what the culture is, most times guys are going to fall in line and they're going to become a part of that rather than being their own individual selves. And that's what's really nice about this locker room, that guys want to be here and guys want to buy into the culture because they see the success that this team has had and is having.
The way Doug Pederson has grown as a head coach, Mike, I mean, it's pretty remarkable. Very green a couple of years ago. Now he has so much more confidence, charisma, message with the team, really carrying himself like what he is, a Super Bowl champion.
Well, I think that's what a lot of us are starting to see from Doug, but I think it was there all along. I just had that conversation this morning. It's funny you say that. Talking about how good Doug was at the latter part of the season last year and how he outcoached every opponent, every coaching staff once they got into the playoffs. You look at the Minnesota game, and he was so far ahead of Minnesota. And even in the Super Bowl, Matt Patricia, one of these great defensive minds, he was so far ahead of him. And that is one thing, Dave, that I don't think is talked about enough. The way Doug Pederson is able to break down defenses and take advantage of defenses.
It's been a brilliant strategy all along. Surround Doug, a new head coach, with experienced coordinators in Frank Reich and Jim Schwartz, and help him learn how to be a head coach. And here he is as a Super Bowl champion.
And I don't think the dynamics will change very much, that you don't have a couple of those guys here anymore. Having Mike Groh now moving into the position that Frank Reich had, I just think it's a very smooth transition because they're like-minded guys, and the chemistry there, I think, is outstanding.
Mike, do you have concerns about this team for the rest of training camp going into the regular season?
I have one concern.
What's that?
The concern is when you start to hit people, as they did today for the first time, I just want to see everybody get up after every play. After the whistle, I want to see everybody up on their feet. That is my only concern.
Well, one day down, and everything seems to be okay. Carson Wentz, your guess. When does he play?
That's a good guess. Monday.
I don't know when he'll start the season, do you think?
Just watching what he's doing, I think he'll be ready to play in a month. Yes.
Okay.
I do.
The race again, and as a knee injury, when you get to 90%, 93%, long way to go to get to 100%.
Yeah, and the big thing is going to be for Carson between the ears. I've gone through knee surgeries, and you start to feel really good, physically, but being in the fire and being able to handle it without having a mental block, that's the other thing.
Great stuff, Mike Quick. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Great seeing you.
Great to see you.
It's rare to get Mike Quick, as we make this joke every year, in training camp, because, of course, for those of you old enough to remember, Mike Quick never played in training camp.
It's become an old thing now.
But it's still a funny thing. We love it. Mike Quick, Dave Spadaro, thanks so much for joining us here at Eagles Training Camp 2018.